Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching Oman News. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues 2 royal decrees. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Saeed bids farewell to the Ambassador of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to the Sultan. His Excellency the Chairman of the State Council says Consumer Protection Drafts Law shall be forwarded to His Majesty the Sultan, supported by views of the State and Shura Councils. 11 agreements are signed to remove housings affected by Batna Coastal Road project and to level up residential site plan in Kamsar in the Wilayat of Khasab. And activities of Al Mudaybi Health Week starts participated by a number of concerned associations. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has issued 2 royal decrees. Royal Decree number 29 of 2014 establishes an embassy for the Sultanate of Oman in Mauritania. Article 1 establishes an embassy for the Sultanate of Oman in Mauritania. Article 2, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of issue. Royal Decree number 30 over 2014 grants title of ambassador. Article 1 grants Dr. Samira bint Mohammed bin Musa Al Musa, Sultan's permanent envoy to UNESCO, title of ambassador. Article 2, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of issue. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Saeed received in his office this morning His Excellency Abdul Aziz bin Sulaiman Al Turki, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, accredited to the Sultanate, for bidding him farewell at the end of his mission as his country's ambassador to the Sultanate. The ambassador expressed his thanks for His Majesty the Sultan for the support he received during his term of duty in the Sultanate from His Majesty, the government and Omani people, which facilitated for him carrying out his duties, as well as his best wishes for His Majesty of good health, happiness and long life, and for the Sultanate further growth and prosperity under the wise leadership of His Majesty. His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Saeed expressed his utmost thanks to the ambassador for the efforts he exerted in serving brotherly relations between the Sultanate and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and profound wishes for the ambassador of success in his future assignments and for the Saudi people every progress and prosperity. His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfouz Al-Mandari, Chairman of the State Council, said what had been reached by the Council of State and the Shura regarding consumer protection law, supported by the views of the 2 councils, shall be forwarded to His Majesty the Sultan. More details of the following report by Saif bin Khalfan Al-Kindi.
11 articles have been discussed during the joint sitting between State and Shura Councils. The 2 councils came out with a final draft that will be raised to His Majesty the Sultan by His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfouz Al-Mandari, Chairman of State Council. During the long-term debate, the members in the 2 councils agreed upon 7 articles of the consumer protection, and voting was conducted for 5 articles before they have been finalized. The most important points discussed in the joint sitting are the procedures that shall be taken in the cases of high prices as a result of the exceptional circumstances, the temporary procedures, and additions of services of the commodity in the warranty bill. They also discussed the necessity of making the warranty bill in Arabic in addition to another language. Shura Council also stated that the sale and promotion offers shall be subject to the supervision of the Public Authority for Consumer Protection as an auditing body, but the State Council disagreed with this and stated that it shall be within the competencies of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which sends the prices for the PACP to audit it. There were also other points discussed to bring the views of the two councils together regarding the penalties and fines that will be imposed on the violators. The two councils agreed that the executive regulations shall be issued by the chairman of Public Authority for Consumer Protection within 6 months from the date of the law issuance. Saif Al-Kindi for English News, State Council, Muscat.
The Ministry of Housing signed 11 agreements amounted to 13 million Omani Riyals. The agreements were signed by His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Mohammed Al-Shabibi, Minister of Housing, included 6 agreements for removal of houses affected by Batna Coastal Road project in the Wilayat of Musanna, Barka, Suwaiq, Saham, Liwa and Shinas, amounted to 5 million Omani Riyals. In the field of consultancy services, an agreement to make survey and area planning works for compensation of Batna Coastal Road to provide technical cadre at Compensations Office at North and South Al-Batina. His Excellency the Minister of Housing also signed an agreement on supply and installation of air conditioning devices for the residential units implemented to compensate citizens whose properties were affected by the coastal road. He also signed an agreement of level up residential site plan in Kamsar in the Wilayat of Khasab in the Governorate of Musandam with more than 3.7 million Omani Riyals. The government also signed an agreement of recycled and treat demolition waste and affected occupancy by Batna Coastal Road with Oman Holding Company for environmental services valued at 2 million Omani Riyals. His Excellency also signed an agreement on constructing new premises for the Ministry of Housing in the Wilayat of Sur in the Governor of South Sharqiya with more than 1.7 million Omani Riyals. On the sideline of signing agreements, His Excellency Engineer Saif bin Amr Al-Shakhsi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Housing, said that first tender for settlement schemes and roads construction for Liwa project to transfer citizens from buildings affected by industrial area was launched. This agreement will follow by infrastructure tender, then the buildings tender. Sultan of Oman Amma, affiliated to the Royal Army of Oman, held a ceremony on the occasion of the 43rd anniversary of its formation under the auspices of His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defence Affairs. They presented a performance of military infantry accompanied by a Royal Army of Oman music band. Housemen and students of Sultan's Amma school also presented various performances for the audience. The Royal Army of Oman, represented in medical services of the armed forces, held a ceremony for the opening of Families Clinic at Muaskar al-Sha'afa. The opening came within the context of keenness of Royal Army of Oman's command in developing, modernizing infrastructure of medical services, upgrading health and treatment services for personnel of the Ministry of Defense, Sultan's Armed Forces and their families. The opening was presided over by Major General Matar bin Salim al-Blushi, Commander of the Royal Army of Oman. In order to upgrade curriculum applied at private schools on their various educational systems and to keep pace with efficiency of 21st century, the Minister of Education concluded the experimental phase to apply technology curriculum for 21st century on 8,000 male and female students at 16 different schools, among bilingual, international program and global schools. Based on the results of the study, curriculum framework had built, in addition to curriculum standards, map and skills given to students' curriculum specialists at Ministry of Education, put their strategic plan 2020 through some projects with the aim of giving learners skills which enable them to compete and innovate. During the campaign entitled "Until When Water is Wasted," His Excellency Said Saud bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of Muscat, stressed that there is a plan to update most of the old water networks in the Governorate of Muscat in the next 5-year plan. More details in the following report by Sayyida Nayab.
The Control and Monitoring Center of the Public Authority for Electricity and Water organized today a water rationalizing consumption campaign. The campaign was launched under the theme "Until When Waste the Water," to make the citizens aware of the importance of rationalizing water consumption and preservation for future generations.
BAW started the new campaign, which is Save Water program, which related to customer and also related to the network. The one which is related to the customer, which is mainly dealt by customer service and our media department. Normally our media department, they are doing some advertisement just to aware the people how they need to save the water and what kind of program they need to take. They need to reduce the washing of their car. They need to reduce spilling of water without a reason. So all this, it will affect the water saving.
The authority also demonstrated the best ways to minimize the water leaks and ambitious strategies to monitor and minimize the lost water all over the Sultanate.
We form all the team and we train also the team of PAW, and they work during the night for the leak detection by the technician, principally in Muscat for the first year because it's our first target. And for commercial, we work during the day to follow our water meters and just to check with the billing and the reality of a leak. And we will see at the end of the year, and we check also during every quarterly our flow. And we will see if we achieve and what we want to achieve at the end of this year. But we have a plan for 5 years, and it will be not easy, but we will challenge this target.
At the sideline of the event, an awareness exhibition showcased authorities' projects, consumer services, 24 hours call center, and water quality assurance.
Reducing reliance on groundwater and large-scale desalination is the master plan of this campaign as the main source of drinking water in Muscat. Sayyida Nayab, Muscat.
Still to come in a news bulletin. Under the theme Broadband for Sustainable Development, the Sultanate celebrates World Telecommunication Day. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Under the patronage of Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of Sultan's Armed Forces, and in the presence of Her Excellency Dr. Rawia bin Saud al-Busaidiyya, Minister of Higher Education, a ceremony was held to mark the 20th graduation ceremony for students of Al-Sahwa General Education Diploma for the academic year 2012-2014. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubai.
A graduation ceremony for grade 12 of Sahwa School was held in Al-Watayya's Ministry of Education Conference Hall. Members of the Parents, Teachers Council together with parents and family of the graduates were present in large numbers who felt proud on the success of completing General Education Diploma for bilingual school and now are ready to accept the challenges of higher education that would enable them to contribute to the development of the country. The school principal in his speech said, "We are celebrating the end of an important journey and the beginning of another for these young women and men." He said the diverse talents the students brings to the walls is welcome. He added they can be inquisitive, critical, non-conforming and challenging. The students in their speech expressed on their behalf and the behalf of their colleagues their pride and joy for kind support they received from the school teachers and relatives. They appreciated the quality of education they successfully completed and passed with deep determination and persistence, and that they are ready to gain the new phase in their life journey to take responsibility and arm themselves with faith and science and adhere to the ancient heritage and authentic tradition and cultures of this beloved country under the wise leadership of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. The graduation program included various events such as poetry recitation, speeches, slideshows, music. This was followed by distribution of certificates and prizes.
Al-Sahwa Schools has really prepared me for higher education, and I have learned a lot from it. It has taught me the meaning of leadership and creativity, and has taught us a lot of lessons that would prepare us for the future life.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate all of my colleagues for this glorious night. And this night couldn't have happened without the help and support of our school, Al-Sahwa Schools, and support of the Ministry of Education.
I would really like to thank the school for the 12 years that I have spent with it, helping me to progress with my English and my other language and other skills. That helped me in writing poems such as the one that I presented today.
Can you recite part of it?
I can't believe the time passed so fast. I can't believe it has been this long. I question my choice of words within this poem. How could I ever end my days without a final song?
These broader experience, skills and achievements are to be celebrated. Thank you, Allah Almighty. Thank you, our leader Sultan Qaboos, and thank you, Al-Sahwa Schools.
Many years of sustained studies have culminated in reaching an important and successful milestone for the student and, of course, for their teachers and parents, and thus the students are ready for higher education and future life. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television.
Reviews of laws, legislations and policies of dealing with the handicapped were most important topics discussed by a seminar of policies of dealing with the handicapped and its prospects in the Arab countries. The two-day seminar discusses spreading awareness among members of the society by capabilities and potentials of handicapped people, exchange of experiences and acquaint with latest programs and achievements witnessed by social policies concerned with handicapped people in the Arab countries, after ratification of international agreements for rights and handicapped people and making positive change in their life. Necessity to establish an independent authority concerned with real estate and speeding up to apply articles of royal decrees and laws related to organizing real estate brokerage profession were at the top of the recommendations of the first Omani Real Estate Conference at the conclusion of its works at Al Bustan Palace Hotel today. It brought together local and international pioneers and experts in the field to tackle issues and challenges facing the sector. The conference praised the approach by the Supreme Council for Planning to prepare a national strategy for urban development, for its role in organizing land plottings and forming a team to follow up implementation of recommendations issued by the conference. It also made recommendations to speed up to launch a real estate index for its importance to stabilize prices and control speculations, as well as to establish a unified e-system to link all real estate offices with all data of brokers, assessments and real estate surveys. The Public Authority for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises signed a memorandum of understanding with Muscat Grand Mall to launch the first business center specialized for small and medium-sized enterprises in the Sultanate. The center will accommodate diversified 50 commercial outlets inside the Grand Mall on an area of 2,500 square meters. It hoped the small and medium-sized enterprises will kick off towards stable and sustainable practices for their commercial activities. The MOU is considered as the first joint initiative between private and public sectors in joint projects to serve this vital sector. The Sultan celebrated the anniversary of Isra and Mi'raj at Legitimacy Sciences Institute in Al-Khwair in the Governorate of Muscat. It was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Saud Al-Bimani, Vice-Chancellor of Sultan Qaboos University. The ceremony included traditional arts such as Azi, besides poems which express the biography of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in addition to view some Islamic documentaries. Activities of Al-Mulaybi Health Week started today in the Minabat of Samad Al-Shan. A number of associations are taking part, such as Cancer Prevention Association, Elderly Friends Associations, Civil Defense and Ambulance Authority Center, as well as craftsmen owners of small and medium enterprises. This week is meant to acquaint the public with most important health conceptions and to spread awareness in the society through cultural and awarenesses lectures. Information Technology Authority, in cooperation with the Ministry of Transport and Communications, Regulatory Telecommunication Authority and Oman Broadband Company, celebrated World Telecommunications Day and Information Society under the theme Broadband for Sustainable Development. The World Day came to urge the countries of the world to bridge communications among them so as to encourage utilization of internet and other telecommunication means and to bridge digital gap among individuals and countries. The Sultan revealed that its mobile broadband services has reached 62.5% after National Strategy for Broadband, which was approved in 2013, as it is one of the most important infrastructure for economic development. Oman Broadband Competition of 2014 was launched during the ceremony, whose conditions will be published in Research Council's website on 15th of June. And now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the Sultan with chances of fog over parts of the southeastern coast. Winds will be southerly to southwesterly light to moderate. Seas along the southeastern coast will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 2 meters, while it will be slight to moderate along the rest of the Sultan's coast with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. Watching the Sultan of Oman television, before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues 2 royal decrees. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Asad bin Tariq Al Said bids farewell to the Ambassador of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to the Sultanate. His Excellency the Chairman of the State Council says Consumer Protection Draft Law shall be forwarded to His Majesty the Sultan, supported by views of the State Insurer Councils. 11 agreements are signed to remove houses affected by Batna Coastal Road project and for leveling up residential site plan in Kamzar in the Wilayat of Hassan. And activities of Al-Mudaybi Health Week starts participated by a number of concerned associations. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, thanks for watching. Good night.